Okay, so this is going to be a second update on my rig. Um, my W3670 that I had been running for quite a while eventually did burn out when I attempted to play Anthem. I didn't notice that it was running at 100% for the straight 3 hours that I had been playing. Um, that's another reason not to get Anthem. It will run your CPU at 100% for 3 hours straight. So I ended up replacing it finally with a E5 2690, which currently I have turboed up to 3.3 stable. Um, it gets up to like the late 70s and temp when I'm running like load. When I was playing Anthem, just to go back to it, yeah, max I was getting was like 77 after a couple hour load. I did run the Furmark benchmark and I got about 79, and that was an hour long that I did that. Currently running it under the Zalman CNPS Extreme Edition. Uh, the fan's not too good on that, so I'm probably going to replace it with a Noctua soon. Um, until I do that, I'll leave the side panel off so I can just get better airflow. Excuse my poor cable management skills currently, but there's not a lot of space that I can work with, and the 24-pin power plug on the motherboard is on the other side of the actual. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to run the cords around, but the RAM is pretty cool because you can run ECC RAM on this, and you can overclock the ECC RAM to force it to 1866. Normally this is only 1066 ECC, but I was able to get it stable at 1866, which just gives me better like boot times in games like PUBG or Rust. Usually you'll get a lot of lag or frame, just, the frames are not stable if you don't have high speed RAM. That's what I've encountered so far. My power supply is still running pretty well. That's the Nzxt 600B. Still running in the Dell. Once I get that once I get that new fan and the side panel on, it will finally be a true sleeper PC. That front case part right here has pretty good airflow for the 120 that I installed there. In the front, the USBs do work. I found out that the previous motherboard I was running with X58, the MSI X58M, the USB header was actually broken. That's why the front panels weren't working in my previous case that I was running on. The aux on the front of this case, though, was a proprietary size, so I just can't use it. And I also learned that on this was a cheap Chinese motherboard. You got pretty good specs and usability out of like a $70 Chinese motherboard. It's just like black and standard. But one complaint I do have is that the three aux ports that it has in the back of the whole motherboard, the back panel, those three there, normally I would plug in for my speakers, which I plugged it in right there, but those don't actually work. So currently I'm running off my monitor, and the monitor has pretty shitty sound quality, but I'm managing currently. I think I'll just have to get a motherboard that actually has good speakers, rather than trying to run speakers through my motherboard. But yeah, it comes with 8 USB back panels, back panel USBs, 2.0. It does come with a MSATA slot, not an M.2, an MSATA, that you can use as either a COM. You can get like a small Wi-Fi MSATA card, or you can run a MSATA SSD off of that. You can't really see it too well because when I got the graphics card plugged in, it covers over the slot. 980 Ti, I'll probably get a new cooler for that too when I have the money. That runs pretty hot too. When I was even running like Resident Evil 2. I was getting upwards of like 80C. I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but I'm running at 100% fans, if you can't hear it that too well. What I always liked about these old Dell cases as well is that the whole front panel connector is just one big connector. It's not, you don't have to put the hard drive thing on, you don't have to put the power thing. It's all one big assembly that plugs in to the front of the motherboard. I don't know if you can see it too well, but all of it is just one big cord that plugs right out of the front of that. I always just found that easier than run something else. Currently, I got all like my access cables just kind of jammed up into the slot I'm not using up there. The 5.25 slot that I'm not using. When I can, I'll probably get a floppy disk reader reinstalled to the front of this so I can actually play retro games as well as new ones. And that is all. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.